Its growth in this country has been phenomenal. Politicians from all parties have cozied up to its congregation, and it preaches that God wants you to be rich. It's the Hillsong Church.
Boys looking for love, a young man needs violence, licking guitars, a little desperate girls looking for love, their women dressed like violets, whipping cigars, a little desperate.
I was at church on a Sunday morning, and Hills Christian Life Centre, as it was known then, had been advertising for a long time that rock and roll music was evil, that it was the work of Satan. And he actually turned to me and he said, I need you to be freed from the spirit of rock and roll. He said, I know that you are following one of the high priests of Satan, which is Bruce Springsteen.
Looking for love, a young man needs violence, licking guitars, a little desperate girls looking for love, their women dressed like violets, whipping cigars, a little desperate.
I went to see Pastor Brian talk about his father having been removed from ministry. These were allegations of sexual offences against teenage boys, which was never actually named on the day. And he asked for the congregation to pray for his family, for his wife and his children. And the congregation did. They stood up and they applauded him.
There was no reference to the people that had been abused or whose lives may be
Absolutely
damaged.
no reference to the victims.
Desperate girls looking for love, their women dressed like violets, whipping cigars, a little desperate.
I'll never forget the great celebrations last year when we announced that we had purchased a beautiful piece of property in Rosebery. One of the first things we're going to need to do before beginning any development at Rosebery is to pay off the $28 million debt that has come from the purchase of the property.
Looking for love, their women dressed like violets, whipping.
I found a very strong pattern in what happens when people show resistance. If you show resistance to the pastors, the leadership, the program, the teaching, you're dealt with very severely.
What does severely mean?
Well, you know, in cases there are people who have been told that they're demonic, and they will say to you explicitly that they want to build more buildings, but they need more money to do it. So, you know, there are no hidden meanings there. It's very